All right, everybody, jumping into the week with our twin flame reading. This is for the collective, messages that want to come through for the collective. This week, we are doing a dream class to help you understand how intuition is speaking to you through your dreams. Even if you don't sort of do that or even function around your dreams, it's an untapped resource that you might want to check into. And we have our twin flame astrology group this week. And I'm going to go back to the beginning and give you all of the latest and greatest kinds of astrology techniques to understand how to tell if someone is your twin flame from astrology. So if you want to jump on to my twin flame astrology group, there's a link below. The dream class is below. That's happening on Wednesday. All right, let's see where we're going. Journey by Moonlight. How appropriate. Okay, I did bring down my little book, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yay. We have a new moon in Libra this week. It's an eclipse. All right, so it's kind of a big deal. And new moon in Libra, 10 degrees on the 2nd of October. So it's the next day. That is on Wednesday. Hey, that's when we're doing our dream class. The 2nd of October at 11:49 a.m. Pacific time. So 2 p.m. Eastern time, 2:49 p.m. Eastern time. That is going to be the height of it. And this eclipse season this year started. We had our eclipses around the vernal equinox and now the autumnal equinox in the fall. And earlier this year was massive shifts in energy. You probably felt it over the summer. The eclipses are tipping us now into, on this planet, there is now 51% awakened and shining their light or stepping into their light, which is the preponderance of the people on the planet. Yay, yay, yay for us. That is going to be super good news because things are going to be shifting a lot and you're going to feel them. Awareness is your most powerful tool. So if you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling like the energy's heavy, or I'm feeling like it's lightening up. All of a sudden, I feel like I can do stuff. And for a while, I felt like I couldn't do anything. That's what I'm talking about. This year, the changes in the energy are big. The percentage of people on this planet that are waking up is getting more and more. We have kind of crossed that Rubicon to where more people on the planet are waking up than ever before. 2025 is going to be a watershed year for this too. So suddenly this fall, like if you're new to this channel, if you have never watched tarot, if you've never really been drawn to it and you're drawn to this video, you are probably part of the new arrivals. If you have been working with this like I have been since 2009, then hello and welcome to you too. Passion and pleasure coming in, savor your life. The higher your vibe can be right now, the better. The more you sit in fear about anything, that's kind of the timeline you're going to follow. So if you can say to yourself and have an intention every single day that I am going to meet every challenge with joyful resolve. You can take care of it. You can do it. You can build it. You can be it. You can expand into it. Savor your life. Savor the people in it. Some of you have told me, and this has been my experience too, that a lot of people are leaving your life. Yes, that is true. Some of you even have experiences with twin flames that are trying to hang on to the 3D life. That is, I'm going to say, that's not going to really go so well. Okay? Because that means what's happening right now is everything that's been built on fear needs to be reimagined. So we may not have a lot of the institutions that we have right now. We may have different kinds of institutions. Our bodies are, every night I feel the tingling in my hands, my whole body tingling. You know, we are going to be changing. It is changing us into a crystalline being. It's happening. This is going to happen a lot faster than most people thought. And most of the folks that I listen to or have talked to are really moving up the timeline because of that tipping point. Okay. Staying focused, hold the course. Yes, yes, yes. And one more, please. First light, beginning a new cycle. I have seen so much of this, and I have seen quite a bit of, I don't feel like it's going to be super smooth all the time. I feel like there will be crashes, or there will be certain things that will kind of fall out of alignment rather suddenly, mostly because we're hanging on to it. If we're hanging on to something that needs to go, then it's more sudden, okay, that the transformation takes place. If we're allowing people to leave our lives, if we're not holding on to things, if we're not holding on to career paths that have long since closed up for us, if we're not holding on, it's going to be a lot easier. And the higher your vibration can be, put on some nice high vibration music in your house all the time. That is going to help a lot. You can find it online. There's also a great book. I'll talk about it in the extended Power versus Force, Dr. David Hawkins, and he talks about frequency. Everything is frequency. Everything is frequency. And the higher your frequency can be, maybe moving into the realms of neutrality, even away from fear. Anything that is built in fear, like relationships that are built out of I'm afraid to be alone, no bueno. Okay, that's going to go. Let's focus here on the big picture of twin flame connection. It almost feels to me like there is going to be this new moon in Libra. Libra is all about relationship. This new moon in Libra can activate a lot of magical reconnections. Okay. And you may have just a week ago thought this was impossible. So just FYI, let's see what the collective message is today. So King of Swords underneath, the 8 of Pentacles, Empress, 9 of Pentacles, and Magician. I keep getting this card, and there's the Wheel of Fortune as well. So there's divine feminine energy. I feel like some of you are dealing with people who are very tied to the 3D. Everything in their lives has been built based on fear or intimidation or pure logic with very little feeling. Okay. And if let's just talk about, there can be, the masculine energy can be cut off from feelings, okay, or be swamped by feelings. Either way, it's kind of like the two extreme ends. That's what they're working on right now. The feminine energy is working on self-confidence and standing in one's power. Okay, the masculines are working on those other elements that I just said about feelings versus logic. That's one of the lessons that is trying to come through right now. Magician energy is Virgo and Gemini. And we have Gemini, we have Jupiter retrograding in Gemini this month and through the end of the year, all the way into January. That is really going to be about going over some lessons in communication. All right. And here's Jupiter again, right next to it. The reason for the retrograde this time, I mean, it happens every year, but the theme of it is going to be world changing expansion. Jupiter, right? Expansion. How have I not tied things up inside? How have I not, you know what I mean? Like to come to some kind of conclusion about a certain thing or a certain experience I'm having. I need to go back again and tie things up for myself, tie up loose ends, and be ready to greet the new day, right? Be ready to greet the new day. So Knight of Wands, this is for the collective. Sun, I will pull cards for Divine Feminine separately from Divine Masculine. Knight of Wands, the Sun, the Devil card. Boy, that keeps coming out. This is like institutions that keep us down. Okay, keep us in debt, in fear, in the lower vibes. And that's real Saturn energy about like, hey, it's going to take some work. I feel like this is mostly for the masculine to stop running away from this and get into this joyous vibration, away from institutions that have been I don't know if they've been serving us ever, but some of them really are going. Some of the institutions are really going. Two of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Star card. Oh, beautiful. That's healing energy, learning new things. It's almost like tuning out the flow of information and instead really connecting with your intuition more and more and more, using that for a main source of information, at the very least, in terms of your being able to be balanced. Okay, this new moon in Libra is all about balance, staying balanced. This is Aquarius again. So there's something here also about a changing of the big picture, what the big picture looks like going forward. We're changing that. We're healing that, because it had been quite cynical about, making people's lives miserable. And now we're kind of recognizing that that's something that is hurting us as a collective. Very much so, hurting us as a collective. The 10 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Cups. I like this. I like this moving away. Information, lots of downloads coming in. So just be aware of this. That's why we're doing the dream class this week, because I feel like that has an opportunity for a lot of people who don't normally study their own dreams, or it's a channel of information that is coming from your subconscious. And there's a lot of, when we talk about healing here, there's a lot of things that are stuffed into your subconscious. It's almost like for another day to be healed. And that information needs to come up. So with some of these institutions, ending, let's just call them ending, right? There could be revelations about them that shows that they're not safe, they're not healthy, they're not, definitely not organic, but they're not growing in a way that's going to support us and support the mission moving forward. Those things need to move on. And if a lot of divine masculines, I really feel this pretty strongly, are trying to hold on to a lot of those institutions, whatever they are. The feminine energy is working on reclaiming power, her own power. And since you have masculine and feminine both inside you, it's sort of like, don't look to external sources for validation or for power or anything like that. Your power comes directly through you from the divine. And in 2025, we are going to all see how we are all connected. We're all going to see how we are all divinity. All of us have a role to play here. Okay. And since you have free will, there are people on this planet who are choosing not to do that. Okay. So in the Twin Flame Collective, we're having our own kinds of last minute kind of struggles or healing opportunities. Let's call them healing opportunities, in order to be the ones who are shining the light for other people. When I was walking the Camino de Santiago, which 8 of Cups always reminds me of that, part of it was letting the Camino, there's a lot of Caminos, there's a lot of trails that all lead to Santiago de Compostela, which is the cathedral where St. James is reportedly buried. And this has been a pilgrimage in that part of the world, Iberian Peninsula, Portugal, Spain, for quite a long time. And whether you are in that belief system or not, there was something that was interesting about the group that was with us, that it was really about letting the Camino be what it is to you, okay? And letting it inform you. So I really feel like it's not just, it's interesting that I chose that time to do this kind of experience, but it's part of the spiritual development that, is part of my life now. And this time period is very important in terms of all of us, kind of more and more people waking up. Those of us who've been doing this kind of work for a long time, I know quite a few of you that are doing this, then this is the most important time for us to be here. This is the most important time for us to be here, communicating with each other, talking about our spiritual awakening, talking about how awareness is really a superpower, the awareness of our own power, the awareness of how much we have shut down our own brain, our own intellect, our own capacity to feel, our own capacity to be in the world. And there's more and more information just flooding in with this Eight of Wands. Flooding in. I'm seeing a lot of little orbs in as I'm looking around the room here, right there, right here. So let me ask about this Eight of Wands. Six of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Two of Wands. So part of this connection, part of this twin flame connection, whatever label you want to give it, this is the masculine and feminine integrating. People are integrating, all right, in general. The masculine and feminine, we're, on this planet, we are still in kind of a binary world. But if you look at yourself as both masculine and feminine, we are now integrating those masculine and feminine as a part of a larger collective. And it's not, for me here, the Six of Pentacles, about helping other people, about helping yourself, about not, so there's a couple things here. There's a lot of egoic kind of experiences in this reading. And I feel like that is the thing that's going to take the biggest tumble, is that people are no longer, because we are all connected, you're not going to be able to kind of ever separate. So you're not like, this is mine and that's yours. Like those kinds of distinctions are going to go away. And so this kind of, I know we talk about it kind of mythologically or spiritually, that, to help someone else is really to help yourself. And a lot of people may not get that because they're not, they're like, well, if I help them, that means I have less. So there's still that idea in the world. And that is something that's built on fear, a fear of less resources, a fear that's it's not going my way, a fear that if you get more, that means I get less. Like all of those kinds of energetic signatures are really being pummeled. Okay. And over the next, by the time we reach like 2027, 2028, boy, I feel like though that mindset is going to kind of vibrate out. It won't be able to hang around anymore, because there will just be such a shift over the next few years. I think you're going to really, it's only been recently that I've been like, oh, wow, this timetable feels like it's sped up. So what's the role of twin flame in all this? We're getting to this place where the integration of masculine and feminine within each of us is now being more and more, commonplace. Like we're starting to see our masculine and our feminine energy. If you followed twin flame for any length of time, you're right there. Like, okay, I see this other person here, but I also know that this is about my internal work. And what's happening right now, I feel like there's a lot of because separation can be viewed as ego, right? That, you're separate from me, and so I'm going to get mine and all that kind of stuff. I just feel like that's the thing we're learning right now in the end of 2024 and into 2025. I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes on the planet that are going to kind of force us into a new awareness. Okay, so let me see here. I want to ask about this Devil card, please. Two of Pentacles could go either way, right? The Empress, there's the Empress, the Seven of Wands, and the Hanged Man. So this is kind of like, I'm going to pull some cards for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine right now. But that is almost like the feminine is kind of hanging in the balance here and learning to assert your direction, or learning to assert the completed, the integrated masculine feminine is really where the power is with this Divine Feminine, this Empress card. And I feel like the learning of boundaries, these are like basic, mundane, everyday things that you can really employ in a better way, surrendering to this new kind of energy, this awakened kind of energy, learning better boundaries. I feel like some of you are really in the throes of moving on from relationships. This has been a huge deal this year. I cannot tell you how many people I've come across that are like, yeah, ending long-term relationships. There's the 10 of Cups. Too many cards. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh dear. A little spider. Okay. So let's look at Divine Feminine, please. What is going on for the Divine Feminine? King of Cups jumped out. There's masculine, feminine integrated. King of Cups. Judgment. Hierophant. Queen of Cups. Look at that. High Priestess and the Eight of Swords. There is a mindset here. Divine Feminine. I feel like there's this is the mindset that is being kind of overturned, that there is some kind of separation, and that only through some kind of traditional commitment are we firmly connected. I feel like there's a new kind of covenant. Divine Feminine is bringing forth a new kind of covenant. Okay. And the Judgment card here, which is about the crossroads, the beginning of this first light. So Divine Feminine, this is the struggle has been about upending traditional commitments and the integration of the whole. We are whole. We are always together. We are always one. The separation does not matter. Like, that's the lesson that's being taught to the Divine Feminine right now. What about to the Divine Masculine? Ten of Wands. Oh, there's that Devil card again. Holding on to old institutions. Temperance. Archangel Michael swooping in here. Wow. Okay, Death card. Morning message on Monday today, and then on Sunday, the four whoever. The Devil and the Death card kept coming out together. All different decks kept coming out. Archangel Michael is bringing in some challenges for the masculine to move them out of fear. It's almost like you're seeing that death doesn't exist, masculine, that endings don't exist, that death doesn't exist, that we're shifting from one level of awareness, one timeline to another. Yes, that's right. Ace of Wands, Five of Pentacles, feeling out in the cold. What else? Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so this strikes me as the masculine going through this on their own because they haven't wanted to integrate some kind of divine feminine energy. They have felt that that was not what was needed, but actually it's exactly what's needed. The masculine needs to integrate that into their life. Compassion, recognition for endings, clearing, not feeling, upending your feeling of lack of empowerment. There's some kind of feeling of lack of empowerment because things are happening even though the masculine is not, is like, in a logical way saying, this is not what I want. And it's happening anyway. Things are happening anyway. It's kind of like a feeling of being disempowered. So really what's happening is, if the masculine would just flow into their divine feminine energy, they could navigate this better. So the masculine is being asked to flow in with the divine feminine energy here, this Queen of Swords. So masculine feminine integration here, and masculine feminine integration here. So the feminine is the King of Cups, the masculine is the Queen of Swords. Ideally, that is what's going to work for the masculine, to come from a heart space, to be revealing about their truth, revealing about their ideas, being impassioned by things instead of trying to control things. Very traditional masculine energy is being upended here. Traditional feminine energy is being upended here. There's a mindset about traditional commitments that is being upended. Whatever it ends up looking like, I don't think we're there yet. Okay, I really don't think we're there yet. Wow. So I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to look in the extended, I will look at the new moon in Libra and what impact it will have on this connection. I'm going to talk about what you don't see coming. I will get some guidance from spirit, and I will go deeper into the ascension piece of this journey. This looks like big picture stuff to me. Okay. All right, Twin Flame. Link is below if you want to continue on. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.